A brief note on this series of videos on major political and economic and geopolitical issues. These are actually made with a web camera and without any kind of sophisticated equipment or help. Uh, they were originally intended as sort of notations on things to remember or observations about world politics, world issues that come up on a daily basis as I study these issues. They're not meant for commercial publication. I'm learning how to do this, and I'm also finding that doing this from a home office without any other people involved, without anybody asking questions, or without any conversation with a human being, it's slightly more difficult than actually trying to discuss these issues with an audience or in the form of a lecture at some public setting. But I think that some of the ideas that I have to present can only be done so effectively and efficiently and fast if I use this medium, because typing and editing all of these ideas takes a great deal of work, and I'm bound by a lot of other duties on a daily basis. So this is the fastest and most efficient way of getting observations and insights on these issues. I will say that every single issue that I discuss here is something that I've researched in depth. I have a PhD in economic history, and I have years of experience researching, thinking about, analyzing, and writing about world issues of security, human rights, economic well-being, economic development. All of these issues are issues that I've studied in depth, and so the opinions or the analysis, I like to think of it more in terms of an analysis or a tentative analysis presented in an informal way rather than a simply a set of off-the-cuff remarks. This goes beyond the usual spontaneous off-the-cuff impression that one makes in a daily conversation without having done any particular investigation or research on the issue. Everything I'm going to discuss and present in these videos is something that I've studied in depth, and I've tried to reach reasonable and balanced conclusions. I think that some of these issues may not, some of what I say may not find universal agreement. And that's another very interesting thing, that one who follows international affairs or national politics, and who reads daily news and more in-depth scholarly publications realizes is that there's a huge universe. There are a huge number of variables. There are a huge number of facts about human history and world history that one needs to know if one is going to have a detailed and very in-depth knowledge of a particular issue. So it's impossible for any single human being to be well informed about every issue. However, some people spend more time systematically investigating and studying issues than others. I'm one who has spent a great deal of time systematically investigating issues. Unfortunately, I haven't had as much time as I would like, or I haven't been able to put aside as much time as I'd like to write out and edit and revise the results. Therefore, I've found that this may be a promising medium for expression of ideas that may never get expressed if it's not done in a way that's rapid and efficient. And the modern video technology, even something as simple as a web camera and the social media on which you can present and publish and store and organize these things offers almost unheard of possibilities compared to what existed just a few years ago. I began my career when people took handwritten notes, when people read books and physical or paper editions of journals, magazines, and newspapers. And then later in life, you know, in my late youth or my 30s, is when the beginning of computer technology began to be distributed on a widespread scale and became available for use. But I spent the formative years of my university and educational experience and my own independent reading using the paper medium. And now there are much greater opportunities for expression, and I'm going to try to take advantage of them, even though this is not going to be the most perfect form of delivery. I've been working on my own most of the time, independently and individually, without regular daily contact with colleagues and people in the same fields of interest. So I'm a little bit rusty in my oral communication skills. I hope that this may improve and that I may learn how to do this a little bit better in the future. But thanks for taking the time to watch the first video, and now I hope that there will be some more, and that they will have both some insights and also possibly some references to information that will be useful. I do maintain the Global Geopolitics Net website, which has a regular flow of pretty good, well-written materials by a variety of international news and scholarly sources. I have a bibliography there on global economic and political issues, which is quite comprehensive and which is actually the basis for some of the things that I say. I also regularly gather large quantities of information on daily world events, on major countries of the world and major issues. So I hope that this is going to be a worthwhile form of presentation.